Plan George's 2035 Implementing Infrastructure Task Force. It looks like a quorum. Very good. So before we approve the minutes, everyone should have got a copy of this from July 21. And do we have, I can't, we skip September, right? So, okay. Could I motion to approve minutes? Mr. West? Mr. Tiley? Any discussion? Mr.
Just one quick edit, Mr. Chair. There's no E in my last name. For the vote.
That's because you're the foreman. Okay, with that correction. Yeah, foreman would suggest you manual labor or manage manual labor. Okay. With all those favors, say aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. Okay. Now, as I mentioned, I hope you saw that I said yesterday, the Powers Be Executive Council and Park Landing decided that they would start Plan 2050 project and start transitioning that. So I went along and agreed that we should wrap this up and take information we've learned here as a transition to the Plan 2050 process. And I think a lot of you have been along and remember the Envision Prince George's effort when we went into it. So there's still some instance, you were here for that, but you've mentioned we're still thinking of doing something like a Vision Prince George's.
Yes, sir. As soon as we wrap up the process, we start strategizing for what role I look like and engage stamping.
Great. Plan 2050 team, our thoughts on what accomplished and not accomplished in 2035. And so part of this presentation, if not the entire presentation, where we're at with 2035 implementation and enforcement and affordability is that sort of concern. So with that, I'll turn it over to the director. Welcome, as always.
Thanks so much, Councilmember, and thanks so much, task force members. It's an honor to have my team provide some updates in our evaluation report. I've heard some of your interest in making sure we are updating general plan in a very targeted and strategic way. And so last time we did this report, it was a few years back, and we feel excited to share some information and also get feedback before we finalize publication, which is going to be around this fall. So with that, turn it over to my presenters and introduce ourselves as well.
Hello everyone, I'm Thomas Strom, the project manager. Today I'm here to talk about Plan Prince George's 2035 second 5-year evaluation report. It's currently under internal review prior to public release. I'm just going to give a second for the PowerPoint to get brought to screen. So first I'll put a bit of background on the project. I'll then review growth management goals for dwelling units and jobs, and then over the indicators of success organized by plan element. The first background, as you're all aware, when planning 35's performance monitoring section, there's a strategy, specifically a PM 1.3, which calls for a 5-year evaluation report to be prepared every 5 years to regularly monitor progress towards growth management goals as well as the indicators of success. The form evaluation last heard in 2019, with reporting released in 2020. This report followed a very similar form as the previous one, but in a couple new sections as well, including predictions, development pipeline estimates, regional comparisons, certain indicators, and an update on progress of different recommendations that were made in the previous report. This is a refresher on the management goals for dwelling units and jobs taken directly from Plan 2035. Just summarize, the regional transit district are the primary focus for growth to get it to receive 50% of housing of jobs and housing jobs. All types of local centers were targeted to receive 20% new housing and 20% jobs. Other areas such as employment areas were targeted for only 4% dwelling units, 20% jobs. Established communities were targeted for 2% housing, only 9% of jobs. And the non-agricultural areas were targeted for 1% of dwelling units and jobs. With few water and sewer areas targeted to receive no growth. Here's a table of reporting number of dwelling unit built between 2014 to 2024 and compares this number to the goal at Plan 2035 for plans rising. This table also compares the distribution of new units across the geographies and compares it to the distribution goals in the general plan. Here are key takeaways from the data set. Between 2019 and 2024, Prince George's County added 11,800 new dwelling units. While this presents slowdown of about 20% fewer units than the previous 5-year period, the county is still generally on track to meet the long-term housing goal of 62,000 new units by 2035. As of 2024, we reached near 45% of goal, just slightly behind the ID pace. However, geographic distribution of this growth is not all exact with 2035 vision. Regional transit districts were in it to receive half all new housing, only captured 20% of growth. In contrast, established communities reached 49%, more than double their recommended share. Local centers are performing moderately well, capturing 22% of growth, close to 20% target, still behind the total units delivered. The positive side, growth in areas outside the designated growth areas have remained limited. Employment areas are on track, with a modest 4% target. Rural agricultural areas have consistently captured just 1% growth plan. Sure, while sewer areas where growth recommended experience some growth, but at a slower pace than previously reported. This will be a slight line from the 1% development activity compared to the previous period. And in summary, overall progress towards the housing target study, county makes strong action to redirect future development towards the RDs. The housing plan, which estimates the number of dwelling units approved and not yet built, also included in this report. The table shown provides a snapshot of housing development is only occurring across Prince George's County, and thus aligns with the goal for Plan 2025. The table on the shows the estimate of 48,000 pipeline dwelling units and breaks it down by policy map area. carrying the percentage of units in each area to the targets established in the plan. Notably, the regional transit districts intend to absorb most of the growth, only for about 20% of the pipeline, falling short again 50% goal. In contrast, local center site exceeding goal with nearly 20% of units versus the 20% target. Established communities were meant to receive a limited share of growth, are thought to receive 39% of pipeline units, above 20% goal, and remain area, including employment areas, future water and served areas, rural and agricultural areas, are all to receive more than their allotted share. The map on the left is that distribution of the pipeline. Move on to the growth management goals for jobs. The table already the number of new jobs between 2018 and 2022. Compares those numbers to goals and planning 35 for the horizon year. This will also show the dependent goal. New jobs have been achieved to 2022, which is the year that the most available, or the last available data. Here's some of the takeaways from the implement data for the county. First, there was underperformance in the total number of jobs for the county between 2014 and 2022. County only had net of 4,600 jobs, which is only 4% goal. Similarly, in low center, the job growth is desired. We saw a loss of over 11,000 jobs. However, on the more positive side, the RED in the employment area for jobs desired did see most growth as intended, with the RED seeing a net employment gain of 5,000 jobs and employment areas seeing over 7,000 new jobs. The employment forecast provides comparison between the projected number of jobs by 2035 and targets established in Plan 2035. Overall, the county is forecasted to have over 40,000 jobs by 2035, which does fall short of Plan 2035 goal of 115,000 jobs, a deficit of about 7,000. The notable shortfall is in RTDs. The local centers and employment areas are all forecasted to underperform. In contrast, established communities are predicted to exceed their employment goal by a substantial margin, with over 7,000 jobs forecasted versus a goal of 10,000.
I have a question to that.
Sure.
The employment areas and then established communities, I think where in established communities does employment growth happen? Is that retail?
I would have to get into the numbers now exactly.
Because that's it's like 75% of all the jobs in the established communities. Established communities are largely residential.
I would agree with that, yeah.
So 75% of jobs in established communities, where are they going?
I would assume it have to be sort of real. I would look at it more closely.
Please do, because that's, this is a glaring anomaly in terms of what's happening out there.
Yeah, I know some of the challenges with forecasting and our geographies is like data and like, the lines don't match. So there's a lot of challenges with it.
Get it?
Yeah,
But
okay.
I'm like,
Yeah.
please look on hood and see.
Yeah, that's a question.
Is my works was on hood,
Yeah.
or describe it differently or something going forward. All right, thank you.
Okay. Nope.
Actually, one quick question. So I'm just trying to figure out what an employment area is versus a local center or a regional transit. Like an example of an employment area in the county.
Everything's mapped and defined in 2035. So we have like, six different types of geography and employment area. It's kind of, I don't know, Scott, do you want to talk about employment more? They're kind of big. They don't have like boundaries.
So employment areas are places where in 2035, it was anticipated that certain key sectors would locate, and they're spread throughout the county, where the regional transit districts are, your high-capacity metro stations. What was the other one?
INH in the day, EIA. Yeah, I think of my district, the Belleville Industrial Park, Indale Business Park. I'm sure that 301, you got business parks.
215.
Yeah, I assume, look at the map, large employment areas that are zoned, tend where these are, but it doesn't really align with that.
Yeah, the one map, the heading line does have the employment areas on there, I believe. Yes. Look at the one core, visit one. I think that's Melford Boot Town Center. That's in green line as well.
The Beltway in central part of the county,
Yeah.
and Bowie, a local center as well. A part of that was the innovation corridor, which is Route 1 corridor between T and Beltsville and 193 and University out in Nassau.
Okay, cool. Going back to PowerPoint, I believe, yeah. Yeah, so the water sewer areas on the cultural areas are also forecasted above target. Okay. So slide outlines key staff convention to outline future development 2030 goals. First is that this reviewing zoning, particularly in the such communities during master and site planning process to ensure consistency of the long-term growth strategies. Second, recommend reassessing the development capacity of RTs by looking at their entitlements and mental constraints and the current land use, with the possibility of extending boundaries to accommodate more growth if that's appropriate. And then the county should establish targets. The underperformance recommend the county adopt new targets based on current realities. Notably, the COVID-19 pandemic caused significant losses in certain issues like accommodation, food risk, transportation. And then moving on to the second half of the presentation, was focused on the indicator of success. These next two slides show indicators that were established in Plan 35 and 26, where they have modified since approval as recommended in the 2019 report. Certain indicators had modified because of either data availability or some indicator also recommended. So depending on how you count them, there's 31 indicators, 5 more than originally identified in Plan 2035. And new and revised indicators have been noted on these slides. Here are the remainder of the indicators. Also note that each one a target of either increase or decrease. In the report, this will be shown as red or green arrow. The indicates an indicator is going wrong direction. The green indicator is going in a desired direction. On the several slides, I'll review each of the indicators, organized plan element. So before I dive in, I did want to point out that the goal of the report for the was a base for 2019 or review year of 2024. In some cases, data availability varies, so the year of review year may differ in the targeted time period. All indicators have linked to strategies and plan. One indicator is showing a negative trend. Staff have just specific strategies and plans to implement that have impact on the indicator and hopefully reverse that trend, negative trend. First, we do have the land use indicators. Only one. This is kind of in addition to management in terms of land use. But one indicator linked land use, and that's the commercial tax base relative to the residential tax base. This indicator currently has a negative trend. Given this trend, AFRAC is focusing on E1.1, specifically business improvement districts, and E6.4, creating account-wide access clearing of information for small businesses to upshot an account.
Mr. Les, can I ask a quick question? When it says commercial, I assume that includes means like industrial property too? Like commercial tax, does that mean basically not any non-residential tax?
Yeah, that is non-residential.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
One thing the report is an indicator to find that get into like detail of what that indicator means exactly. Can vary. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, next up we have the transportation ability indicator, which are 4. All 4 of these indicators are being met. As you know, we've increased the number of bicycle and pedestrian facilities constructed and decreased the amount of greenhouse gas emitted in the county. Vehicle miles traveled. The next category of indicators is economic prosperity, which has most indicators of 9. Current 4 out of 9 showing